It's a new day. Yes, it is. Hey, everybody, what's happening? I am back with another quick film review for you. And today I'm going to be taking a look at Spider Man Brand New Day. This is the fourth one, starring Tom Holland, and it is directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who is fresh off of the surprisingly good Disney Plus series Wonder Man. Thought that was cool. It was about acting as much as it was about having powers. And it was written by Chris McKenna and Eric Summers. They are no stranger to writing Spider Man. Uh, the characters are, of course, based on the great Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, both legends. And the film stars Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Sadie Sink is in this film. Now, she played Max on Stranger Things. She plays a secret character here, which will be certainly spoiled by the end of the weekend by the internet. So stay off of Facebook and YouTube if you don't want to know who she played, because I'm sure some folks are going to spoil it out there. I won't. Jacob Batalon is also in the film. He returns as Ned, the BFF of Peter. John Bernthal appears as the Punisher, Frank Castle, and Mark Ruffalo comes back as Dr. Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. Plus, there's a couple of characters that they haven't revealed in the trailers, so I won't say any more actors' names. Okay, all right. Now, plot-wise, again, no spoilers, but you know what's been seen in the trailers, of course. So I'm going to talk about that. We all know certain characters like the Punisher and the Hulk are in the film, and it's great to see them. They actually really work. Those two characters work really well in this film. But in terms of the plot, thanks to Doctor Strange's spell in the previous Spidey flick, that not only made people forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but they forgot about Peter Parker altogether. No one has heard of Peter. Like, Spider-Man is still a hero of New York, of course, and he's world famous. But his alter ego is unknown. He's teaming up with the cops to fight crime, and that's cool. So yeah, Peter doesn't exist, and he's got to reintroduce himself to everyone, which must be very fun for the writers. Of course, he's not risking the lives of his loved ones, and because he doesn't want his enemies to know who he is and who his loved ones are. So Peter Parker, he's got to start all over, and things get awkward with old friends. Tom Holland is particularly good here in these emotional scenes. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, Spider-Man's powers are also all over the place. He's constantly changing, and he needs to control his powers. So he's got to, science the hell out of that, basically, to help fix his powers. There is a new threat, of course. This movie would be nothing without a great villain, a great antagonist. This one is a mind-possessing ghost, basically going from person to person, and that's all I'm going to say, okay? There is a monster, huge reveal as to who this character really is. I did not see it coming, so that was pleasantly surprising. Some incredible visuals here in this Spidey flick, starting with the Spidey suit. In fact, I really like the way the Spidey suit looks. He looks better than ever. Beautiful shots of New York City. Sound effects and the music are pretty cool too. Some camera angles and some movements were very, very impressive. So yeah, there's great work going on in this film. Technically, there's a lot of arguing going on with Spidey and Frank Castle, the Punisher, John Bernthal. He was great in that short but very impressive Punisher One Last Kill. I'll also recommend that on Disney Plus. It's not that long, so yeah, it's good. Bernthal and Holland, they've worked together many times, and most recently in the Odyssey with Zendaya. But they look like they're having a lot of fun in this Spider-Man film. Speaking of Zendaya, she may have given her best Mary Jane performance, or is it Michelle Jane? I forget. But anyway, MJ. We just call her MJ now. Batalon as Ned, he really shines too. He's a great BFF and roommate for MJ as well. So the story it's really great. The first 2/3 of the film, anyway. The last 30 minutes doesn't quite measure up, but it's still worth seeing, I would say. There's just maybe too much action and chaos in the third act, maybe too much emotional turbulence and destruction by the end. It's kind of overkill. But I will say the fight sequences are very cool, like the fight against the Hand, these ninjas. Normally we see them in like Daredevil and stuff, but there's a great action sequence featuring the ninjas, and that was shown in the trailers, of course. Also, the fight against Scorpion, who's like this appetizer villain for the real final boss. Those scenes were a lot of fun to watch too. I really liked Scorpion here. So yeah, great character-driven movie with some excellent fan service. Some say too much fan service, and I agree a little bit with that, but it's better too much than too little, I think. There is one post-credits scene, and it was brief, and it was kind of lame, honestly. It was not worth waiting for. But, that's obviously a tiny, misgiving about the film. It doesn't really matter. We know what's coming down the road. We know what Marvel, has plans for, in terms of the big movies coming, Doomsday and Secret Wars. But anyway, I really did think that this was one of the better Spider-Man movies out of the 9 Spider-Man films that are out there now. It's really good. I think it's a fun film. The leads are better than ever, and it is kind of an overstuffed pizza pop of a movie, right? Like a lot of Marvel movies are, right? But I definitely enjoyed it. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. And now I'm going to talk about spoilers. So spoiler alert! All right, you've been warned. Okay, you can turn off the video now if you haven't seen the movie yet. There are a few big spoilers here, but I must mention first that the new Black Widow, right, Natasha's sister, what was it, Yelena, I think her name was, the Russian. She was good, but was she needed in the film? I don't know. I mean, it's a nice visual of her in the bathhouse with Spider-Man. But I don't know that she was that necessary to the film. And, there might have been some editing there. We didn't really need her in the film, I don't think. Marissa Tomei is also in the film. You can hear her voice in trailers, but because you don't see her at all, and it wasn't really confirmed, I didn't want to mention that previously. She comes back in a flashback scene, and yeah, she's the best-looking Aunt May ever. I know. That's always the joke. She's a beautiful woman, Tomei. But she does a really great job with the one scene, giving Peter advice. And also, I'm very happy to see that MJ does indeed find out the truth about Peter, because she discovers this note, and she finds out that he loves her, and yeah, that's obviously caused a lot of awkwardness. And Zendaya is really great in that scene. I gotta say, she's excellent there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some Oscar talk for her for this film, I mean, she was better here than she was in The Odyssey. So, yeah, I mean, that's really great work. She definitely hits all the right emotional notes by the very end. And also by the very end, Ned also realizes who Peter is too. That's how the film goes to black. Really like that final scene. Good way to end it. And so the biggest spoiler is coming up. Okay, here we go. Don't say I didn't warn you. All right. The biggest spoiler is Sadie Sink's character, who also turns out to be what appears to be the main villain of the film, Jean Grey. Yes, one of the founding members of the X-Men, one of the original 5 anyway, along with Professor X. So it looks like they're starting up the X-Men reboot, which is very exciting for me. I'm a big X-Men fan. I love X-Men 97. Who doesn't? She's in fact the big bad of this film, or at least that's how the film makes it seem. So while I'm watching the movie, I'm, once that's revealed, halfway through or so, I start thinking like, she's not bad. She's not bad unless she's like the Dark Phoenix, right? So, so my geek Marvel mind, starts thinking. But it's actually revealed that they came up with the idea of her having a sister, Sarah, who's also a mutant who can jump into people's bodies and take them over. And so she was inhabiting Jean the whole time. And I guess while she inhabits the body of someone else, that someone else can also jump into other people's bodies, or at least can project the power into other people's bodies. Anyway, at first you're thinking like, well, they better not make Jean Grey a total villain. That's not right yet. But yeah, it's explained in the end. So I was happy to see that. The whole sister explanation, I mean, that was just okay in my book. I wasn't that crazy about it. After we find out Jean's sister is dead, Jean goes into rage mode and not only punishes her captors, but freezes everyone in the vicinity. I mean, Jean's a hero, so I wasn't sure why they were portraying her this way, as being so angry that she might kill innocents. But I guess she's also supposed to be a young Jean Grey. This is really the beginning of the whole X-Men thing. They're starting over, right? But she is emotionally over triggered as well. And she's so powerful in this movie by the end. Really, only Spider-Man's sacrifice changes her anger to sadness, as Frank, intending to shoot Jean, shoots Spider-Man by accident. And Spider-Man's okay. Of course, he recovers. It's not really something that the Punisher would do, in my opinion. But then again, I guess that could happen to any shooter, no matter how skilled they are. Yeah, so yeah, that happens. And I guess I'm okay with those kind of things. So yeah, a good movie overall. Had a good time. Definitely, like I said, 8 out of 10. Enjoyed this Spidey flick. All right, guys, that's it for me. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to go see this Spider-Man film. And until next time, I'll see you at the movies.